Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So today we are on a Golf 2.0 TDI Mark 6 because, yes. And so as you can see, we're getting a DPF light and a message about the DPF as well on the dash. And I've been expecting this for a couple of reasons. One, because this car doesn't really go, well, it never goes on the motorway or anything like that. And the other thing is I've recently replaced thermostat because it wasn't getting up to temperature. So I bought some of this in preparation. Now this is going to be similar to what I did on the BMW, apart from this time, instead of using something that I know works, like, well, what's on the BMW, the JLM stuff, I thought I'd try something different. So I'm going to try this Mannol stuff. So let's have a look anyway first. Let's see what the readings are on the DPF. I mean, this could possibly just be fixed by taking it for a long drive, but this is more interesting. So let's plug our top down in and get some measurements. Yes. As you can see, I put it on the screen. We've got no trouble codes, which is a good start. But we've got an offset pressure going up to about 3.5 psi when we go up to about 2,500 revs, which is obviously too much because, well, the light's on. So let's see what we can do about that. Now first, we need to put some fuel in it because not having enough fuel in will stop regens. Not getting up to temperature will stop regens. Fault code can stop regens. But let's go and put some fuel in anyway. And after a short trip to Costco, we can see that both the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge are in a better place emotionally. So let's get on with trying to fix it.
Fix it, fix it, fix it. 'Cause I know I gotta fix it.
And that involves lovingly squirting some of this stuff into the DPF, which is in that sort of area there. Now, if we look at the instructions, it says, well, we've got to squirt it in something like 10-second bursts. Doesn't say anything about being hot or cold. Obviously this is hot because I've just driven it, which is probably going to make it easier to take that lambda sensor out to squirt it into, which is a 22mm. So let's do that. Yes. And so now we've got that loosened off. We need to take it out, which means that I'm going to have to turn it round multiple times, but there's a cable which is going to stop that happening very easy, so I need to unhook it from these clips. Yes. And it is quite hot, which is pretty good as well. But now we have an opening to insert our tube into, just like this. And then, like I say, if we look on the back of here, it tells us some instructions on how to use it successfully. And we've read them. So I've got to squirt this in 10-second bursts until, well, I'm pretty sure until I run out of it, so. Yes. Maybe I should wait for it to cool down, but by the look of that, it is shifting some shit, so it does look like it's actually working. So I'm just going to keep on spraying it in, but slowly so it can seep through rather than bubbling out the top of it and filling the turbo up and going back into the cylinders or whatever else it might do. And it has taken a bit longer than I expected because it does just try and spunk out everywhere if you put it in too quick. But we are getting to the end of this can now. Yes. So I think that is pretty much done. So I've got to leave that to soak for a bit, but while I'm doing that, I might as well as put this back in. Now, if you're not going to unplug it, before you put it back in, you need to twist it the other way, so that then when you put it back in, you're straightening up the wire. So let's do that and put all these wires back in place, as they were before, like so. And then whilst sitting in the car, you know, waiting for it to soak in and do its thing, I thought it might be time to actually read the instructions. And I found some online that says that you're supposed to do it while it's running, so I might have done this wrong. So let's start it and see what happens. And it seems that we're getting a little bit of steam out of it, but not much else yet. But the other one that I did on the BMW did take a while to do anything as well. Yes. And so far, it doesn't actually seem to be doing a whole lot. Not at this end anyway. Not a load of black shit coming out like it did on the BMW anyway. But let's bear with it and see if anything does happen there. And in the meantime, I'm going to see what the pressures are. And according to that, as I rev it up, you can see the RPM next to the pressures there. It has decreased a bit. I mean, it's gone into a negative at tick or somewhere, which I think that's probably a calibration of the sensor issue or something like that. But it is improved slightly. But now I've got to do a regen. So I've either got to drive it to do a regen, or I can call one through my top down. So that's easy, so I'm going to do that. Well, I thought I'd be able to call it with the top down to do a regen, but they don't seem to be the option for it. There's the option for every other car on it, or it seems to be, but Volkswagens, they don't seem to be an option to force a regen, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Which is, go for an unnecessary drive up and down the motorway, keeping it above about 2,500 RPM. So it's really good for the environment, as you can tell, these DPFs. Anyway, I'm going to go and do that, and then we'll see what happens. Yes. And judging by the lack of a light now, I'm assuming that that actually worked. What actually happened was, I'm pretty sure it was doing a regen before I even reached the motorway, because it was already up to temperature. I didn't have the heater on, and it was revving at about just under a grand. So it was ticking over a bit quick. And the stuff that I put in, when I started driving it, did loads of smoke, like everywhere. Like worse than the C1 before I put the engine restore in. Yeah, it did a lot of smoke when I started driving it, and I'm pretty sure that was the cleaner burning off and doing its thing. So that has worked. And well, let's see what the pressures are. And well, here they are. So now if I rev it up to 2,500 RPM, you can see that the pressure has dropped right down. So it's down to about 0.3 psi rather than what we started at was like 3 psi or 3.5 psi or something like that. So that has sorted it out. That seems to be all good again. The actual regen, what I meant to say before as well, was that it seemed to be doing it when I was set off and even stopped in traffic, and then when I got on the motorway, I mean, I was in fourth gear doing 70 and keeping it sort of 2,500 RPM ish, and it pretty much did it straight away. I mean, I probably did about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles before the light went off, so that worked pretty quick. And this is the first time I've been on the motorway in this car since picking it up. I had it about a month now, and it's mint. When I picked it up, it had a binding brake and 4 flat tyres, and now it is absolutely mint on the motorway. I'm really impressed with this. It's really nice to drive. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. Enough talking shit. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and I'll see you next time.